The turn of the calendar year marks the close of one deer season and the start of the next. And as sad as it is to see one season come to an end, it's time to prepare for the next season. And that's exactly what we did. After some careful planning and preparation, we took advantage of the weather in April and began clearing an area for food plots and new stand locations on the home farm, with high hopes for the upcoming season, which would be here before we knew it.
Well, this is why you should always scout before season. We got a nice bachelor group of bucks right over here. There's probably 3-4 bucks in there. One of them's an absolute stud, and I do not recognize him at all. So I'm really excited right now to put this chip in the computer tonight and see who he is. But right now, he don't look familiar. Granted, this is probably 500 yards away, but I got him on film. I'm going to keep an eye on him because I want to see if they're going to come in these beans and eat, and if they do, I have 2 stands that I can really make a decision for in the morning. It's completely changing my plans that I was originally going to go with. I was going to hunt the principal's office. Now it's looking like I might hunt the turnaround. I do see that they're making their way to these beans right now, so I'm going to keep an eye on them. And I'm going to slip in here real early tomorrow. I'm going to have to go through the woods so I don't spook anything out in the field because I don't have any cover. And hopefully getting that stand quiet, and who knows, might get lucky and get a shot. But this is what I love about hunting. You just never know, and the excitement just amplified by 10 by just coming out here and doing some glassing right before season. Well, it is October 1st, and we are on the home farm. I'm in the principal's office hunting the schoolyard this morning. I decided to hunt here because this spot gives a great advantage point to see where the deer are coming in and out of. And, only having trail cameras and living 2 hours away, I think that this intel is definitely worth gathering, especially on opening day, and it still puts me in a good position to harvest a really nice buck if one were to come by. I have a lot of pumpkins out in front of me right now, and in fact, this patch is so high, it's hard. You sometimes only catch the deer's back moving through it, and so far we've seen 5 deer. They look like 4 does and a fawn. And then, on top of that, I was able to sneak in here quietly because, as you can hear, I got a road right here, and I'm using that to my advantage to sneak in here, using that noise, to cover my movement and walking in here. And that allowed me to get in the stand quietly, and right as I got in it, I had 2 deer that I could barely make out. They came right through here. I could have shot them if it were daylight with a bow, and one urinated in front of me. And I gotta be honest, it was pretty cool because they're both bleating back and forth at one another. And I know it's October 1st, and we're a long way from me, wanting to use my grunt call and bleat can, but I was excited to hear that because I've waited all year for this. So my game plan is to just kind of monitor this field, see where they're coming in and out of, and then, use that to my advantage later on. This evening, I plan on hunting the fence row and covering the spot where those bucks were last night. I'm hoping, that they'll make that mistake and come through there again. I did have a nice buck come up on trail camera, and hopefully, we'll keep an eye on him and maybe get a shot at him. But for now, it's time to sit quiet and see what happens. It is October 1st, and it's 4:46 p.m., and we are in the stand here in Michigan. We're overlooking a nice bean field that I scouted out yesterday from the truck with the glass, and I observed a nice bachelor group of bucks that were making their way towards the stand here. Now, it's a northeast wind, and what I'm hoping is going to happen is these deer will come out of this wood here. And that's exactly what those deer did yesterday. Dave said he saw 2 bucks do the exact same thing this morning. This stand has not been hunted in probably 3 or 4 years. So it's going to be close to deer for sure. I know it's opening day and they're not used to any pressure, but no one's been in this spot. So that's really working to our advantage. So we're going to sit tight now, hope for the best. I'm just hoping these deer read the script like they did yesterday and this morning. We should have an easy shot, but nothing's easy in the deer woods, so we're going to be prepared for anything and everything.
It had been a pretty eventful evening as I was seeing deer in every direction, and at 7:28 I started to shake like a leaf as I finally had the bachelor group of bucks I glassed the evening before show up. And now, it was just a matter of what direction they were going to go. To the north and west, he's gone for good, and to the east, I could possibly get a shot. Unfortunately, the tree line obstructed my view, so I could only let the situation play out in front of me. I watched deer off in the distance, and with the sun starting to fade, I realized that tonight wasn't going to be the night. I now looked forward to hearing how Kyle's hunt went as I waited for him to pick me up in his truck.
Alright, it is Saturday, October 1st, and I am out hunting at the farm. I skipped the morning hunt. I'm out here now this afternoon. My brother's out here, my cousin David's out here. My cousin David's at a strip of woods in a field that we have across the street. And then my brother, he's a couple hundred yards away on a fence line that we've seen some good bucks walking down. I got a nice chunk of woods behind me. Back behind that is where they have the pumpkins planted, and they're out picking right now. I have this nice this clear opening in front of me, and then the neighbor's woods. And so we got bedding down that way. We get bedding across, and I should see some good action as I'm moving, through this strip of overgrown grasses. Hopefully I'll get a shot. See what happens. It is Saturday, October 2nd, and I'm still out on the farm. I'm actually hunting the same stand that I hunted yesterday afternoon. The wind's still, gusting pretty good, and I haven't seen any movement yet. Hoping it picks up here. This morning was really slow. I only sat about 2 hours because of the gusts of wind, and I didn't see a single deer. So hopefully it picks up here soon. I'll get a nice buck walks by. I'll also take a doe. Got a couple doe takes I'd love to fill, so gonna sit here and just see what happens.
Well, it is October 2nd, and it is about 5 o'clock, and as you can see, it's a little windy right now. But that seems to not be stopping the deer because I already have a doe about 150 yards out, so that's good. I literally just sat down, turned around to hook up my camera gear, look up, and I'm like, oh, there's a doe, so they're moving. But we're hunting the same spot that we did last night because I'm going to take a gamble. I'm hoping that they're going to use this fence line tonight. They did the other day, and they almost did yesterday, but they turned to the left. So we're just going to take a chance and see what happens. Well, it's 6:43, and we've seen 10 deer so far, 2 bucks, both smaller, look like a sub-ike and maybe a 6-point. But they seem to be moving a little earlier than they were yesterday.
Just like the evening before, a bachelor group of bucks appeared, but this time they were downwind of me and started to close the distance. With the wind not in my favor, I was relying heavily on my scent control, and as they approached the 12-yard mark, I knew that things could go south quickly if it wasn't perfect. For the next 40 minutes, these bucks were in and out of range several times as they sparred and fed as I hoped one would cross the fence. As luck would have it, deer would come out of the woods and feed right in front of me. Now, I could only hope that these deer would pull this bachelor group into the beans during legal shooting light.
Those 4 bucks come out. I had deer behind me, and unfortunately I couldn't shoot because they were on the neighbor's property. Now that they've crossed, it's past legal shooting light. So close, so close.